Welcome to On The Beat, everyone. I'm over here with Jeff Farnham from JTS Co Mortgage Professionals. Today we're talking all about refinance options. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Great to see you. Okay, refinancing. Sometimes we feel it's a better way to go after we automatically do our first mortgage. My question to you is, before we start, when we do consider refinancing, is it something that you should wait 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, or could you do it, say, in 2 years?
Well,
what do you...
And you could even do it less than that, right?
Really?
So it's very case specific. So you take the current market we're in with mortgage rates being incredibly low compared to where we were this time last year. Okay. We're almost a whole point lower this time last year. So if you bought a home last year, and let's say you're at 4.5 or 5 even, you might be able to refinance and get to 3.5 or
really?
3 3/4, somewhere in that neighborhood. So depending on the loan size and what your long-term goals are, refinancing inside of that year might make sense because of the market we're in right now.
But here's the thing, Jeff. I'm sure there's closing costs and financing costs.
Absolutely.
And so you would weigh all of that up. Like people often say, well, I want to do a budget, so I'm going to move my apartment and I'm going to move into something $100 a month cheaper, but it costs you $2,000 to move.
Right.
What's the point?
So, and that's one of the things we consider is we sit down and evaluate someone to make a decision. Is this in your best interest? We look at those costs, we figure out the break-even point, and then we measure that against what your long-term goals are.
Okay.
If if this is a 2 to 3 year home for you, then refinancing probably not going to save you any money because of the costs associated with it. If it's a 5, 6 year home, then it could be very beneficial to you.
Okay, I've got a mortgage. I got it 2 years ago. What would be some of the reasons that I would consider refinancing? Okay. Apart from me spending too much on my credit card.
Yeah, so, and that's one we see a lot of. But
exactly.
In this market we're in right now, the biggest reason right now is interest rate and shortening the term, right? So a lot of times you can come in with rates having dropped where they are, and let's say you did a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, you could come and with rates being so low, you could come into a 15-year mortgage and have a payment very close to what you got right now. You're going to save thousands in interest rate over the term of the loan, right? And you're shortening it by 15 years. Another reason people refinance is to do what you talked about. Life sometimes gets away from us, and they've got a lot of debt. They've got a lot of equity in the home. Sometimes moving that debt, using the equity to pay that off, to get out of those higher interest rate credit cards, those longer notes, and reduce your cash flow, right? The obligations each month. We have people that refinance and save $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month by paying off other debt and just having the mortgage payment.
And we were saying off camera that I said, sometimes when you just pay that little bit extra each month, what it wipes off that loan overall. And you were saying, even if you were happy to do how much a month?
Yeah, what I tell people, I'd rather somebody do $50 a month every month than $500 or $1,000 sometimes, because $500 or $1,000 sometimes turns into almost never. But $50 a month, $100 a month, depending on the loan size, you could take a 30-year mortgage and knock 5 years off of it, 8 years off it, 15 years off of it, depending on how aggressive you want to be.
That is a serious amount of money.
Well, it's 60, 70, maybe $100,000 saved in interest.
Yeah. All right. Let's break it down a little bit. What are some of the refinancing options and the loans?
Well, you can do a rate term refinance to shorten the term, lower the rate. You can do a cash out refinance to, let's say you've got a project at home you want to do, you want to add that outdoor kitchen, you want to build a swimming pool. You can do a cash out refinance for that. You can do a cash out refinance to renovate the home completely. We have a renovation loan program where we'll pay off what you got, give you money to do renovations to a home. Maybe it's to consolidate the debt, But most cases we want to evaluate what your goals are, make sure it's in your best interest to do that.
When you say, you were talking before about streamlining refinance, what does that mean?
All right, so it's one of the things we're very popular right now that we're doing. We've got, take a veteran for example, that we've closed last year at say 4 3/4. With the rates being where they are, we're doing VA rates in the mid-3s. So you can do a streamline. We don't have to have an appraisal. The underwriting process is really simple. We go through that process, and within a week or two, we pretty much got you ready to close out. And you're basically just lowering your interest rate down, setting up a new payment.
You always give us great advice. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. If you want to find out more information about JTS Co Mortgage Professionals, give Jeff a call. His team are amazing. Maybe you should be looking at refinancing your home today. Back after this short break.